Hi, and welcome to another lesson of the Excel for Absolute Beginners course. In this lesson, we are going to discuss the backstage view of Excel. Prior to this lesson, it's not been mentioned, so you may be wondering what the backstage view of Excel is. We'll quickly take a look at what it is and we would get into Excel and I'll show you. So this is what the backstage of Excel looks like, and basically it is when you click on the file tab. So let me quickly demonstrate that. When we came into Excel, after clicking on each of these tabs, you get the ribbon commands showing up. But what I didn't do was click on file tab. When you click on file tab, it brings you something different. Unlike these ones that shows you a set of commands in here on the ribbon, the file tabs brings up what we call the backstage view. So that is exactly what I am showing you in the PowerPoint presentation, the backstage view. So the backstage view is having these various options here. The menu here, we have home, new, open, info, save, save as, print, share, export, publish, close, accounts, feedback options. The names are pretty much suggestive of what they are supposed to be used for, but we'll quickly run through them. The home shows you some of the workbook templates that you can use to create new workbooks, and also you are allowed to pin workbooks. So you have access to the recently used workbooks right here, and you're allowed to pin any. So if there is a particular workbook, or there are some workbooks that you are going to be using frequently, and for that matter you don't want it to get lost, because this recent tab has a certain number that it keeps. So if you create more, you will lose the very old one. So if you don't want to lose a particular one inside, then you pin it, so that at any point in time when you come here, you click on the pin, you would get access to it. Then we have the new, as the name suggests, is for us to create a new workbook. So to create a new workbook, you can start with a blank workbook, or you start with any of the templates that Excel presents to you. There is open, as the name suggests, it allows you to open an already existing workbook. So if you have various workbooks on your computer, or even in the cloud or on a storage device, you'll be able to open it using open. So you just look for the location and pick the file to open it. The next one is info, and info basically gives you some information about the current open workbook and the worksheet as well. So there are a number of properties that will be shown right here in info, and it also allows you to protect your file by setting a password and the likes. There is save and save as the name suggests, it allows you to save your file. So if you have created a file, a workbook that you are yet to save, then either of these will allow you to save it. Or if you've already saved it, you've made changes and you want to save it with a different name, then the save as option will help you do that. Then there is print. Print helps us print the work. So if you have a printer connected to your computer and you have created a workbook or a worksheet, you can go ahead and print it using the print option here. There is share. Share allows us to share the workbook or worksheet with others through either email or by uploading it to the cloud and sharing it on the cloud with them. So either ways you can share your workbook. Export allows us to save, it allows us to save the workbook or worksheet in a different format. For instance, if you have created the worksheet and you want to have it in the form of a PDF, then you are going to use export to export it to PDF. There is publish. Publish, we aren't going to do much about it because it allows us to publish to what Microsoft calls Power BI, and that is a business intelligence tool that they have created, which is beyond the scope of this lesson. For that matter, we won't talk much about that. Then close. Close is going to just help us close, so to get rid of the backstage view. So anytime, let me just quickly go there. If I want to get back, I can click on close and it takes me back to where I was. Okay, to go file. The other thing you can do to go back is to click this back icon here. Then the final thing you can do to go back is to click the escape key on your keyboard. So we can use either of those three methods to go back. Account basically displays information about the signed in account. So from the beginning I told you that to be able to use any of the Excel, you have Excel forms, you have to have an account, a Microsoft account, and you need to be logged in. So when you come to account, you get to see the details about the user that is logged in, and you can either log the person out or sign into a different account right here. Then feedback, I won't talk about feedback. Let's move on to options. Options basically gives you access to other tools. Okay, a lot of commands, a lot of options that you use to configure Excel, and we'll delve deeper into this. It's a very important part of Excel, so we'll look at it in the course of the lesson. So hopefully this is the Backstage view, and let me just quickly go back. Click on file. When you click on file, it brings you to the Backstage view, and depending on where you are, info, new, open, save as, print, share, export. So we've talked about each of these and the role they play, and hopefully you understand what we have said, and going forward you will see how all of these are used in one way or the other. So I'll see you in the next lesson.